Oops, what happened? It's working. Okay.
Personal question.
When before we start, before I forget. Okay, we're going to learn a Farbrengen that the Rebbe delivered in Farbrengen Bahaaloscha in 1988. I'm going to send to you. I'll have to follow on the side. Okay, you do a hayra. It's known the lesson, the instruction. You have to live with the times. You live to the Torah portion, which is connected to this time. We're supposed to live with the lesson, instruction of this week's parsha. During this year, 1988, I've always quoted this verse, the living should take to heart, because this was in the year after the passing of Rebbe. So this is hinted to in the language of the pasuk, the living should take to heart. So what does this mean, the living should take to heart? Simple meaning is those who are alive should pay attention. But that explains deeper meaning to this phrase. So call me up. Bus master. Come inside, the water's fine. So call me Mishu B'chinas Hachai. Kolach V'Chisol Nashon Nashon Taf. Alim Nem Ratem Lebikim Shem Kechem. Tzarach Litin Alibay Shavim Mishna Chai Zlamu Nefesh Inon Yateira. Anyone who is alive, this refers to Jewish people, because it says in the Torah that you who are connected to Hashem, you are alive. So all those, the living should take to heart means all those who are connected to Hashem, because Torah says connected to Hashem is what brings life. That's what life is. So women and children, and men, women, and children, all the Jewish people, every single Jew is alive because every single Jew is attached to Hashem. So you who are alive, you are attached to Hashem, you have to pay attention with your heart. Why your heart? Your heart is where the life is. Your heart is the Mishkan HaChayis. The heart is what stores life. Adam Hu Nefesh. Let me send it to you. We're using a PDF. Let me send it to you. 1 second. What's your phone number again?
714-261-7631. Can you text it to me because my WhatsApp's on?
Yeah, I'm texting it to you. Oh, that one. Only send me images, videos, text. It's less. Doesn't let me send the whole file. Go to rebbedrive.com and it has the look up Tashma Ches Bahaaloscha. You'll see. Okay, so the source of life in ourselves is our heart. The heart is what contains the blood, and the blood is the soul. So we have to pay attention with our heart, with our life, with our soul. Torah. The Torah is called our life and the length of our days. Especially to pay attention to, with our heart, the Torah, the matters of Torah which are connected to this specific time. Parashat Shavua, like this week's Torah portion, we have to pay attention with our heart, in order to be alive with them. So Chai means you are connected to Hashem. You have to put your life into put your heart into your life. To put your heart into your life, meaning, the simple meaning is you're alive. Pay attention with your heart. But I think they were saying is, you are connected to Hashem. You need to put your heart into your life. Your life is a connection to Hashem. Pay attention to your heart, to the Torah, which is your life. Put your heart into your life. The living should take the heart means the heart should pay attention to life. The neshama the heart of the Jew, the deepest part of the Jew, should pay attention to the Torah, which is relevant to the time you're in. That's what the author means when he says you should live with the times. You should pay attention with your heart to your life, to the Torah. Okay. Since this Torah portion, Bahaaloscha, is associated with the time of giving the Torah, Blake's thinking, one second, we had 12 days to make up the sacrifices. We're past that time already. So what are you talking about, time of giving the Torah? We're already past it. No, we're still in time of giving, connected to giving the Torah because we are in the third month. The whole third month of the year is associated with the Torah, which the Torah is called the Torah of three. Torah is called Torah of three for many reasons. Torah has turning Ksuvim. Torah has three kinds of mitzvahs in it. So the third month of the year is associated with giving the Torah. And especially Shabbos is associated with giving the Torah because it says in the Talmud that everyone agrees that the Torah was given on Shabbos. So Yesh Parsha Zug Miuchal Berishas Chosa Parsha Berishashi Lim Nevira Bein Kol Yikri B'Torah Kol Kam. So there is in this week's Torah portion, and especially in the beginning and the head of the Torah portion, there is an instruction and a lesson, but a fundamental thing, but a all-encompassing matter of Torah. So we should pay attention with our hearts to this all-encompassing message we get from the very beginning of the sixth Torah portion. Okay. In the beginning of the sixth Torah portion, Rashi quotes the word Bahaaloscha. When Rashi says, what does Bahaaloscha mean? The Torah is talking about lighting the menorah, but the word Bahaaloscha literally means when you will rise, when you will ascend. When Rashi explains, how come the Torah portion about the lighting the menorah is written right after we read about the gifts of the leaders of each tribe? So Rashi explains, Aaron saw how every other leader of every other tribe offered a gift to Hashem. He felt bad because he didn't give a gift. Not he didn't give a gift, not his tribe didn't give a gift. So God told Aaron, I swear to you by your life, your portion is greater than all of theirs. Because you light and you prepare the candles. You found it, by the way?
No.
So that's the.
You can airdrop. Can you airdrop?
It's okay. It's easy. So that the Rebbe explained this Rashi many times. The Rebbe says what we're going to focus on today is the words of Rashi. Chol Shadaite, Aaron felt bad.
This is even easier. Just do this.
Oh,
Even easier. But whatever. We found it.
okay. So Pirush Rashi says, what does Rashi mean when he uses the expression Chol Shadaita? Different ways to express pain in Hebrew, different words that denote pain. But Rashi used the expression specifically of Chol Shadaita. Chol Shadaita means literally, if I would translate it, I would say his mind became weak. Lashon shel sha'ayil v'tzviyah. Kumei v'hemshchol hashtaseinu lama nigar kitzben. Avachol shadaiti u'lashon duti ragel lashon tzinu the gemasi v'shashi al tera. The regular expression that Rashi uses throughout the whole Torah is tsar. Tsar means pain, or a language of expressing a question or demand, like Lam Nigara. Later in this Torah portion, the Jewish people could not bring the first Paschal lamb. They came and they said, Lam Nigara, we have a question, we have demand. But Chol Shadaita is very unusual expression, and Rashi doesn't use this expression throughout the whole Torah. Diuk, I think it was Remendel Lipsker, he was emissary to South Africa. I don't know exactly the circumstances. I think it was after 10 years being in South Africa. And he wrote to the Rebbe, he's trying to think of like a way he could express the Rebbe's frustration. So he figured he used the language of the Talmud, Chalisha Sadas, the language Rashi is using over here. I have Chalisha Sadas because I'm not accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish, right? And the Rebbe gave him over the head. So you see there's miracles and wonders, and where you are, it's impossible, all things you're accomplishing and kinds of institutions you're building. How could you say you have Chalisha Sadas? Anyways, so we want to understand what's the specific wording over here, Chalisha Sadas. We see that Rashi is actually veering from the Medrash, which uses a similar expression. The Medrash says Aaron was a guma, Aaron was Meitzer, Aaron felt gloomy, Aaron felt pain. Aaron said, woe is to me. That's the language of the Medrash where Rashi is getting this from. However, Rashi veers from the language of the Medrash. Rashi uses an unusual expression, chol shadait. There's a movement, the so Rashi's intent over here is not to say that as a result of his pain, Aaron had Chalisha Sadas. Rather, Rashi wants to say that there's something distinct, not connected to pain, that we need to focus on Chol Shadait.
What was the difference between Chalisha Sadas and Chol Shadait again?
Same thing.
Oh.
The explanation is, when is Gam ben Chomesh Mikra? The Medrash uses a different expression. Medrash says, Nafshi Aguma, he was Guma. I think he was in agony. He was in pain. He said, woe is to me. Rashi says a distinct idea, not connected to pain, not as a result of the pain, rather, Rashi emphasizes the das, the mind of Aaron. His mind, he had felt weak in his mind, in his perspective. What's going on? What's Rashi trying to emphasize? It's understood also to a 5-year-old. Why does God give us intelligence? What's the purpose of knowledge? What's the purpose of why man is distinct to have knowledge? The reason a person is given this gift of knowledge, this is parenthetically such an amazing thing. You ever asked this question in your life before? Why do I not have salami on top of my shoulders? Why do I have a brain? You ever asked that? That tells you why. The reason you have to, in the previous episode said the reason why a soldier has a head is in order to aim a rifle. It says a similar thing over here. The reason why a person has das is to know the reason why God made them, why God made human being. To know that I was created to serve my master. To delve deeply in my mind about all that's connected in the purpose of why I'm here. That's why I have this piece of salami on my shoulders with the brain inside. The brain is meant to delve into
3-pound meat-based computer.
Yes. And what the goal of this computer has a specific function. It's about figuring out everything connected to the purpose of your creation. There's an arrow on your computer. The arrow is why did God create you? What's your function? How can you serve Hashem? So here we're talking about Ari. What's the main role of Ari? Aaron is meant to serve Hashem. The word lachane li means to be a kohen for me, but the word kohen means service. Aaron is meant to serve Hashem. Aaron stood before God and served Hashem. By him serving in the tabernacle, he stood before Hashem and served Hashem there. So what's the purpose of Hashem giving Aaron intelligence in order that he should use his mind and all that's connected with the tabernacle, that it should be in the perfect way? And now we can understand why Aaron's intelligence felt weak when he saw that everyone else was contributing to the tabernacle except for him. since the whole purpose of this intelligence is in order to know what his function, what has to be done in the tabernacle, since he saw that I wasn't part of this, then so his intelligence became weak. What's the whole point of why I have intelligence? To know how to serve Hashem in the tabernacle. And all of a sudden he discovers that he cannot use his intelligence to serve Hashem in the tabernacle because everyone else is doing it, not for him. He's not doing it. So he cannot use his intelligence to know how can I contribute to the tabernacle because he wasn't invited. He's not allowed to contribute to the tabernacle everyone else was. So his whole function of his mind is to figure out how can I best serve Hashem, the tabernacle, and so what am I doing now? That's why Aaron felt weak in his mind. Yes, let's explain this more. Although Aaron could not be part of the inauguration, not him, not his tribe, he still knew very well that among all the Jewish people, he and his tribe were chosen to serve Hashem in the tabernacle. He knew that the service of Hashem in the tabernacle was done through him and his children. With the assistance of the Leviim, who show up even on Monday morning. The rest of the Jewish people couldn't do that. And more, even the inauguration of the temple of these leaders of the tribes, they brought their sacrifices, fine. But who actually offered the sacrifices? It was Aaron. So what was his issue? His offering the sacrifices of the leaders of the tribes is not considered part and parcel of the inauguration of the tabernacle. What's inauguration? Doing something special, something unique, something excessive, something more than regular in honor of the beginning, in honor of the fundamental establishment of the service of the tabernacle. It's like educating a child. When you educate a child, when you first bring him into school, you give the child gifts. So what Aaron was doing, offering their sacrifices, that's just his Monday morning 9 to 5. That's what he always does. It's not something part of the inauguration. So Aaron said, I'm not part of the inauguration. I'm doing my regular job. Why am I not part of the inauguration? Isn't that my function in the world to serve Hashem in the tabernacle? How come I'm not part of the inauguration? And that's why he felt terrible when he was not part of the inauguration. The fact that he could not participate in the inauguration, although everything else tabernacle he does, everything else that has to happen in the tabernacle Aaron does, but the fact he can be part of the inauguration, that made him feel weak. But since the entire purpose of his mind is for the service of the tabernacle, so something's happening in the tabernacle, which is his court, right? His domain. Something really, really special, the inauguration of the tabernacle. And it's happening without him being there, without his participation. So I can't use, Aaron's thinking to himself, I can't use my mind for the inauguration. There's something happening in the tabernacle, and I have not, the tabernacle is my life. And here's something special happening in the tabernacle, a unique thing, the inauguration, and I am not able to use my mind to figure out how I can make this better. Although that day and every Aaron does, everything else happens in the tabernacle. And therefore, that Aaron felt weakness in his das. Doesn't say that he didn't have das. Doesn't say that he lost his mind, because he still needed to use his mind for everything else that's happened in the tabernacle. But he felt a weakness in his perspective, in his mind, in his understanding. He felt like I'm not able to use my mind for what is on the table right now in this tabernacle. I'm not relevant. Could add explanation to these words of Rashi. Aaron felt bad when he was not, or his mind felt weak when he did not participate in the inauguration. Medrash, it says in the Medrash, Aaron said to himself, "O Yuli, woe is to me, Shem b'shvili, and Kosh Baruch Hu Makabel Shali." Aaron thought, why wasn't I invited? It says in Medrash. Aaron thought because it's because of me, because I participated in the sin of the golden calf. That's why the tribe of Levi is not going to be invited to inaugurate the tabernacle. That's what Aaron thought. I'll show you because there's kind of Reish Shmini, we show you Aaron Misyari, the carve is Mizbech Shemitam Zabim Shmini, Klim Aaron Yisavir Shadai Nisharishim Mechet Egel, Ak the Kash for Glazali, Zachli Shatav, the Klubus on his Mishkan, Lahu, the Shiflis, and Nasa Shevet Levi. That is also in Teres Kainim, the beginning of Parsha Shmini. Aaron was afraid to offer a sacrifice on the 8th day of the inauguration because Aaron thought that there's still some remnant of the sin of the golden calf, and so much so he's not invited to participate in the inauguration, not him, not his tribe, because he, since he is a leader of the tribe of Levi, so the whole tribe is not invited because of him. That's what the Medrash says. Rashi doesn't mention anything about Aaron feeling guilty about this golden calf and that stuff. Rashi mentions that sentiment elsewhere. Rashi says that the reason why Aaron felt, the reason why the divine presence did not descend in a manifest way upon the tabernacle after all of the inauguration was done, Aaron felt it was because of him. So that Rashi mentions. Okay, but Rashi has mentioned this here. Okay, we have to say over here, Rashi is of the opinion, this is, Aaron had nothing to worry about, according to Rashi, that it was because of him that his tribe wasn't invited. Why not? Why? Maybe why does Rashi not accept what the Medrash is saying? That Aaron felt bad because he felt that he was guilty, it was his fault that his tribe couldn't participate. The reason is with pastures. The go into history for a second. On the 23rd day of Adar was the beginning inauguration of the temple. That's when Moshe Rabbeinu served there for 7 days. And then on the 8th day, the 8th day was the first of Nisan. And the first day of Nisan, that's when the Shekhinah was manifest upon the tabernacle. And that's when also the 12 tribes began offering their sacrifices, each one offering a sacrifice on the various days. Yehuda on day 1 and Yisachar on day 2, etc. So already on the first of Nisan, which is the 8th inauguration, Aaron already knew that God had forgiven him for the sin of the golden calf, because when Aaron felt bad, and the Jewish people also felt bad. The Jewish people also felt the reason why the divine presence wasn't being manifest was because of, they said to Moshe, whatever we have done is not going to work because God hasn't forgiven us for the sin of the golden calf. Let Hashem's presence rest upon us, and the Jewish people to Moshe. One will know that God has forgiven us. So Hashem said, so Moshe told them, I'll tell you what we need to do. Aaron, my brother, is more important than me. He is worthier than me. And through his sacrifices, specifically, the Shekhinah will rest, and you will know that God chose him. So when the inauguration is complete, after people already see that God chose Aaron, and he is serving for 12 days as an inauguration, certainly he knew that there's no remnant of the sin of the golden calf vis-a-vis his acceptance. He's being accepted to serve in the tabernacle. If there was an issue, he wouldn't have been invited on day 1 of Nisan, and he wouldn't be able to serve for the last 12 days. So certainly he wasn't concerned about his tribe being disinvited because of his participation in the golden calf. So what was the issue? Rashi says, therefore, the issue was he felt that how come my whole reason that I'm here is to serve Hashem in the tabernacle, and here there's something happening special in the tabernacle, and I'm not part of it. Okay, I'm going to just conclude this paragraph. Rashi emphasizes that Aaron said to Moshe, I wasn't invited, or Aaron said to himself, I wasn't invited, my tribe wasn't invited. The tribe of Aaron is the tribe of Levi. What's unique with the tribe of Levi is that not one person did the sin of the golden calf. It's the only tribe that every single person did. The other tribes also had tzaddikim, but the tribe of Levi, not one person sinned. So therefore you cannot say that specifically the tribe of Levi was not invited to participate in the inauguration because of sin of the golden calf. They're the last ones who have a relationship to sin of the golden calf. And therefore Rashi says, what was the reason Aaron felt upset? Aaron's das, his intelligence, felt weak. But the only reason he felt this weakness is not because he felt it was his fault. It wasn't because he felt pain. Rather, it's just because he wasn't participating in the inauguration. So because he knew that God chose him to take care of all the matters in the Mishkan, and therefore he felt weakness that he wasn't commanded to participate in this specific detail of the inauguration. Okay, so the lesson we're going to see Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow is that every Jew is meant to be like Aaron and serve Hashem in the tabernacle. And when a Jew sees or hears that Jews are involved in something, like they're involved in the education of a Jewish child, the Rebbe says, when they see they're not part of it, they need to feel bad. How come I'm not part of it? So as we'll see Mitzvah tomorrow, but let's be part of it. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Quick historical note, the first 8 days consisted of what again?
The first 8 days was also inauguration, but it was before the inauguration of the tribes. Moshe Rabbeinu served in the temple for 7 days.
Yeah.
And then
They erected it and then
took it down, and the Shekhinah didn't rest there until day 8, which was the first day of Nisan.
Right.
And the first day of Nisan, that's when Aaron brought the sacrifices and the Shekhinah descended, and that's also day 1 of the gifts of the leaders.
Cycle, yeah.
That they brought their gifts to inaugurate the temple.